Darwin didn't actually say this, despite what the internet says, but I like the quote anyway. It is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent that survives. It is the one that is most adaptive to change. It makes me ponder our existence as human beings. The fossil record shows clear evidence of incredible adaptability by the species of the past, but it also shows severe uselessness in the face of catastrophe. Welcome to Project Perspective. When life really took hold during the Cambrian, I bet our little buddies, the trilobites, could never have predicted their kind would eventually be wiped off the face of the planet, only to reappear in textbooks and propped up in museums. Could this be our fate as well? Back in the day, geologists looked through the fossil record and noted that some species seemed to completely disappear, while other new species appeared in their place. This, in part, formed the basis for the divisions of the geological timescale. It wasn't until after these initial observations that geologists began to realize that at these boundaries there were significant die-offs, so much so that they have been deemed mass extinctions. It is estimated that of the approximate 4 billion species to have ever existed, around 99% of them are extinct, gone, never to be seen again. So whether you like it or not, this means you are in fact the 1%. For now at least. There are 5 commonly discussed mass extinctions that occurred throughout time. The first occurred at the end of the Ordovician, around 440 million years ago, where 86% of the species were lost as a result of an ice age caused by lowering carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere. The second occurred not long after, late in the Devonian, 375 million years ago. This time, 75% of species died. Huge algal blooms changed the chemistry of the ocean, sucking a lot of oxygen out of the water. Moving on, we reach the Permian extinction. And keeping with society's fascination with placing the word great in front of horrible events, it gets its nickname, the Great Dying, where 250 million years ago, a staggering 96% of species were lost forever. Enormous volcanic events in Serbia pumped excessive carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, causing temperatures to skyrocket and oceans to become acidic. In the 50 million years after this catastrophe, life did manage to rebuild, only to be smashed once again at the end of the Triassic, with the death of 80% of species, most likely associated with warming linked to volcanic activity and increased carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. If planet Earth hadn't suffered enough, we were hit again, but this time from above. 66 million years ago, at the end of the Cretaceous, 76% of all species were lost as an enormous asteroid impact plunged Earth into a nuclear winter. And if you hadn't already noticed, there are some common themes of drastic environmental change affecting the atmosphere and oceans during mass extinction events. Climate change. There is a current push by some in the scientific community to define a new mass extinction, one that is occurring right as we speak. Extinction rates are about 100 times greater than the background extinction rates, and it seems likely that it is linked to us through things like excessive hunting, habitat destruction, and man-made climate change. But let's continue as we've been doing for centuries and focus on ourselves. Surely we are smart enough to be immune from extinction. We are mammals, hairy, warm-blooded animals that lactate and give birth to live young. While extinction risk is different for each and every species, the average lifespan for a mammalian species is about 1 million years. Given that we have been around for about 200,000 years, we are already 1/5 of the way through our allotted time. But remember, this is just an average. There has to be some high achievers, as well as some that quite literally don't pass the test of time. Now I take my science hat off and put my opinion cap on. I'm fairly confident that we will not exist the average mammalian lifespan of 1 million years. For me, what is still unclear is whether we will far exceed or drastically fall short of the average. As arguably the most intelligent, technologically sophisticated species to have ever inhabited Earth, it is completely up to us. A privilege no other foregone species has ever had, but how we treat each other and how we treat the planet will determine the length of our longevity or the speed of our demise.